Hello and welcome to another installment of Should You Play, where we find out whether or not you should play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. Why not single player? Well, by now everyone and their mother has heard enough about the story, to the point where it's practically known to the whole universe, unless you live under a rock, in which case, I'm sorry. The multiplayer side of things is, sadly, rarely talked about, despite being quality work, and, of course, fun! Now, before we get into the meat of things, let's just quickly gloss over the part that may or may not be considered pay to win. I personally don't believe it is, but it's kind of a gray area. Now, you obtain credits by completing missions in waves, which you can use to purchase upgrade packs. These are basically just boxes that contain random items. Certain boxes increase the chance of getting certain items, such as weapons or characters, but it's always random. Here's where the problem arises. You can buy these packs using BioWare points. In other words, you can spend real-life money to obtain in-game items, which, in some cases, can be interpreted as buying power, if of course you're lucky enough to get the somewhat overpowered items. That's where the gray area comes into play. The boxes are always random. There's no way of changing that. Also, the game is entirely cooperative. You aren't fighting other players here, you're working together to get out alive. It's up to you if this is reason enough not to get Mass Effect 3. Now, into the actual gameplay, the part that you're hopefully interested in. Well, almost. First off, let's cover the basics. All 6 classes are available in multiplayer. You've got your adepts, your soldiers, your tech-wielding engineers, your sort of tanky, sort of techy sentinels, your sneaky infiltrators, and the in-your-face vanguards. Now, in most games, each class would have a unique ability, but in Mass Effect 3, they take it to the next level. By that, I mean each race of each class is unique in its own way. For instance, human soldiers have Adrenaline Rush, which increases your damage and instantly reloads your weapon. Geth engineers are capable of deploying little turrets that can shoot rockets or flame, and so on. Each class levels up, but don't worry, the classes level up as a whole, meaning if you have a level 10 engineer, all races within that class will also be level 10. In terms of character progression, it's similar to single player in that it's more complex than Mass Effect 2, but it's nowhere near what it was in Mass Effect 1. When it comes to choosing a match, it's incredibly simple. You simply choose your location, your enemy, which includes Cerberus, the Geth, the forces of the Reapers, and the Collectors. The difficulty: bronze is easy, silver is normal, gold is hard, and platinum is just your team versus the big super bads of each race, all in one match. Or you can set it to all random and get super quick matches, and bonus experience. Now we're really getting into the actual gameplay. Seriously! It pretty much just boils down to a simple horde mode, with additional missions within the waves to spice it up a little bit. These little missions are usually random and vary from simple escorts to King of the Hill style. Successfully completing these missions awards bonus credits for use to buy the aforementioned upgrade packs. Each mission lasts a total of 11 waves, 10 of which are simple kill everything or complete mission, and the 11th is just get to the evac point and defend it until the shuttle arrives. Bronze matches last around 15 minutes, silver is about 20, gold up to 30, and platinum can be anywhere from 30 to 40-ish minutes in length. In terms of bugs, expect the usual offenders when it comes to a third-person shooter with a cover mechanic. This includes vaulting over a barrier, but doesn't complete the vault, using cover to shoot over, but the angle it wants you to shoot shows you a giant wall blocking your vision, trying to vault over a wall you'd think you can, but the game won't actually let you, etc. And probably the worst offender, it's a person-to-person game. Meaning, if your host has a mediocre connection, you'd best believe that your game is going to be extremely laggy and jumpy. While this can be extremely frustrating, it doesn't happen all too often. Now, back to some good. If you get wounded and you still have allies on the field, they're capable of getting to your body and reviving you. And of course, you can do this for your allies as well. Working as a team isn't necessary on lower difficulties, but going lone wolf on gold and platinum is not only suicide, but you'll actually be bringing your team down. Not cool, man. Should you all become wounded, you lose the match. Hopefully, that's enough information for you to decide whether or not you should play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer.